Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to another Hunter x Hunter manga read along. Just a little recap. I watched the anime, even though I had to take a break somewhere in between. Then I took like a year or two off, didn't think about it for a while. Then I read the manga from chapter 1 to up to where the anime ended. And a couple of weeks ago, I read chapter 339 to 341. So someone told me that I should read it faster than I'm planning to read it because there's a lot going on and I'm going to forget things. So I have two things to say. Number one, I will forget things anyway. No matter how fast I read it, I will forget things. Number two, these chapters came out very slowly. So me reading at the pace of 2 or 3 chapters a month is not really a problem, but I'm gonna do my best to read more whenever I can. Okay, Booty, see you later. Shout out to Jolly D Joestar, Odinoko, Hunter, Modru, Minty, and a big happy birthday to Blackblade, even though it was 2 days ago and I completely spaced on it. But I hope it was a really nice birthday and I hope you enjoy your barbecue that your brother is doing for you. And I wish I could be there. Maybe not. What season does Canada have right now? But I wish I could be there anyway. But we'll do a South African barbecue whenever you come to visit. And we'll celebrate all the birthdays. Okay, so Jolly D Joestar asks, can we get a quick thoughts on the last batch? I mean, there wasn't... It seemed interesting. My thoughts on the last batch, you can hear it from the video that I posted. But yeah, I want to kind of just recap the end of chapter 341 to see where we left off. Netero's son showed up at the Zodiacs and he said, "It's been a while, Beans. Those guys must be the Zodiacs. Can you contact the V5?" Oh, sorry. You have to read on your own app or your own manga. I'm reading from Shonen Jump app. I won't show the screen. Copyright. Say that you caught beyond Netero. So he kind of wants to like hand himself in. He says, let's call it a quid pro quo. What is his plan? He seems like a mischievous fellow. And then we have the guy that was meant to do the research or read a book. There's this dark continent or something, and there were these people that kind of gatekeep it, and there's research and stuff going on from things that have been in there or people that have been in there and like came out a little bit different. Like it looks like it's gonna get pretty dark. But I mean, Hunter x Hunter has been pretty dark, but I feel like it's gonna get darker. And this guy was meant to kind of read up on some like the Dark Continent manual or something. I don't know. The 5 threats humanity brought back from the Dark Continent. And I'm going to do my best to remember this in time, but a sphere that protects mysterious ancient ruins. The botanical weapon Bryon. Codependence of desire, a gaseous life form, I. A monster that infects its prey with homicidal desire, the twin snake, Hellbell. A trade-off between life and pleasure, a beast that keeps people as pets. PAP. Sorry. So a trade-off between life and pleasure seems like you give it your life and maybe it's like you feel good, but you're not living your life. Like it reminds me of this ethical conundrum I learned about in philosophy about putting Prozac or something in people's water. Like they'll feel happy, but does that make it right? Something like that. But So it looks like you can give up your life and you can feel comfortable and happy and at peace, but you're being fed off of. You're a snack, a pet. So sorry. And then lastly, endless despair disguised as hope. Zobe, the immortality disease. This is no place humanity should go back to. So they are really, I'm taking a screenshot so that I remember these things. It sounds like it's setting up an impossible world. Like, this is hell. How do you make it through a day in this kind of place? I don't know. And then a reminder at the end, I'm from the dark continent. So, and it says here on the side, I. And I didn't notice that because the gaseous life forms also say that, and they have the same eyes. And it says codependence of desire. So it could be that, wait, is Nanika and? So codependence, maybe the gaseous life form attaches to a host. It kind of reminds me of, there's a word for this, not just codependent, symbiotic. I doubt that this is, yes, aluka and nanika. So nanika means like, nani, means like, nanika. Like nothing, anything, something like that. But recently I changed my vitamin D prescription, not prescription, sorry, just my vitamin D. I used to take a, a regular one, and the vitamin D3 is made from the wax of a sheep wool or something. And then I changed to a different brand, and they make it from something that is like a symbiotic relationship between like a mushroom and a something else. Like, I don't know, but I really like the word symbiotic, and I wonder, it's called codependence of desire. Oh, and doesn't all Nanika grant wishes? Or, right? But with a cost. And it says codependence of desire. So, interesting. I didn't notice that last time, even though I read this chapter. Okay, so that's the kind of thing when a story is really good, you can read it 100 times. You can read it 10 times and you'll always discover like new things like that. Okay, we're starting with chapter 342. It's called Challenge. Clang! And he basically handcuffs himself. Now then, you can do what you want with me, but I predict that I will be released and you will go to the Dark Continent with me. Impossible. You'll be in prison for a long time for inciting a riot. It's kind of like inciting a riot. It's like, reminds me of Blackbeard. Like, my treasure is out there. Go find it. You are delusional. Well, that would be the correct answer, but the real world isn't like that. Yes, the real world doesn't care about the right and the wrong so much as it cares about the profits, right? So, if he can... You have time to hear me out before you report to the V5. And then they seem to like give him a chance. Ooh, this kind of reminds me. So the whole world at this point has been explored a lot because hunters, and it's a whole system that. Did I say Blackbeard? He has a black beard also, okay. Roger, I meant Roger. Obviously, I meant Roger. A Whitebeard doesn't even have a beard. He has a mustache. Of course, I'm going to get confused. I've been looking a little bit more recently into just a tiny speak at history and stuff and about kind of how people explored, and we all kind of come from Africa originally, as far as history is aware. Like the first human, the oldest human or something. I have not read these things, but we're from Africa and then we kind of like migrated out. And so the fact that this is about that dark continent, it's kind of turns things on its head because you have this whole world that's filled with hunters, which are basically adventurers and have explored. They try and explore every nook and cranny, right? But the dark continent is this mysterious, dangerous place. It's kind of like the lost new frontier in a sense. So there's a lot of potential for fame, fortune, and whatnot. So I think that's why he says, I will be released. Like that's his prediction, and they will have to go with him. Even though they think he's delusional, but okay, they sit down, they talk. Jolly D. Joestar says, funny enough, I want Blackbeard to voice. I think that's what we said. We said that isn't Thorkel and Blackbeard the same VA? No, I don't know, but we did talk about his VA last time. This conversation will be recorded. Is that all right with you? No problem, as if you could publicize it. He looks just like him. Just facing him makes me waver. What does he want? The only thing I know right now is that we're being attacked. I'll first tell you about the V5's official policy and the true meaning behind those words, so you can brace yourselves for the truth. Ooh, I do love characters that talk about the truth. I think there's a lot. Hugh Vogan is so long dead and gone. They can recast the VA. It's been a long time. But I like characters that talk about the truth. I mean, that doesn't mean I'll support anything and everything they do, but intellectually I'm interested in characters that speak on the truth, because I do think that in the real world there's a lot of things being hidden from people in general for nice reasons, like, oh, the masses couldn't handle it, there would be chaos, blah blah blah, but also worse reasons, and I won't get into that now. But for that reason, I'm always very interested in characters who speak about the truth. Now, whether or not he's being honest, we'll see. This is the current official world map. Our world is located within the enormous lake Mobius, in the center of the dark continent. This is the current world map. Okay, let me just look at it for a while. Africa, that looks like Africa. South Africa. Not gonna lie. Kind of looks like, it's upside down, but it kind of looks like parts. Wait, let's look up the real world map and just compare. So in this map, so here you have like, there used to be a larger, more connected continent, right? I don't know how much research has proven there, but I think it's kind of roughly accepted that it used to be more connected and it kind of broke up with time, right? So, but we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish large. Okay, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 also. So like that looks like Australia. So maybe it's not upside down. I don't know. It feels like he took this and he kind of like rearranged it, but it kind of looks like there's Russia, China, there's like the Brazil place. What is the larger part? What is this called? This whole place? South America? Okay. I'm just curious. I don't think it has any meaning. Okay, this is the current official world map. Our world is located within the enormous Lake Mobius in the center of the Dark Continent. In the center? That's what I don't understand. In the center of the Dark Continent. According to our data, mankind has tried to go there 149 times. That's only the excursions we have on record. Mobius? Only 5 trips had returning survivors. Whoa. For only 5 trips had returning survivors for a total of 28 people. Of them, Beyond is the only one still alive today. The 5 voyages were all unofficial and took place after the V5 formed. The inviolability treaty. What inviolability? With the cooperation of the guide. They were unofficial. They took place after the V5 formed. So what happened before the V5 formed? Did no one go there? I mean, obviously they're saying that we have on record, but they have 149 times that the V5 has on record. So I guess before that they don't know. The current situation is that we cannot even cross the far ocean boundary without the guide. Oh, the guide. Is that what the other guy was reading at the end of the last chapter? You cannot even cross the far ocean boundary without the guide. So the only part that I don't fully understand is this part that our world is located within the enormous Lake Mobius in the center of the Dark Continent. Earth was all connected in a supercontinent named Pangaea. It's not the only time it happened, but Pangaea is the best known one. The guide is not the book? Okay, that's enough. Thank you. But there is a guide, and you cannot cross the far ocean boundary without it, or without him, whoever, whatever it is. So mankind has never, not officially, succeeded in making a round trip by ourselves. But it says never, but he thinks not officially. So the 28 survivors were all as fit as medalists and blessed with luck. Even so, only 3 of them were able to pass various tests upon their homecoming and return to their daily lives. That's a rate of 0.04%. Needless to say, sending civilians is foolish. And then the old lady asked, "Who is this guide?" "The being summoned by the gatekeeper." "What gatekeeper?" "Read the files." "Well, if you would give me the files." "The magical beast clan, with the only pipeline to the continent. Travel there is difficult without their help." So there's a magical beast clan, the gatekeepers, and the guide is a being summoned by the gatekeepers. Okay. "May I say something?" "Go ahead." "We know about these things already." "Likewise for the 5 threats you're going to talk about next." "Yes, this is a waste of time." 5 threats? "I want to point out that any talk of risk only serves to fuel the fire for these adventurers. The same goes for the countries and the businesses that pour money into things, then sit back and wait for results to roll in. The most this would do is decrease the number of applicants. We want to know the official way to stop kakin." Kaki? Yes, I have a file on that. Article 4 of the UN Chartered Basic Relations Treaty. International threats. Clauses 7 to 9 prohibit active involvement with contagious diseases, biological hazards, and unknown menaces. Prohibit active involvement. Okay, they say don't do it. If it is determined that a nation is endangered, The use of force, including military intervention, is permitted. We know all this already. So does kakin. Kakin? Who are we talking about, kakin? I feel like it's from last time, but I told you, no matter how fast I read this, I'm going to forget, especially names. Are they talking about Beyond Netero? Is that his nickname? Kakin will never back down now that things have gotten public. I apologize for the what is circuitousness? The nation. Oh, the nation that. Right. Okay, thank you. So they were the ones that said, "Oh, we have Beyond Netero." He was when they made their announcement. They announced him also. Hmm. And what I do remember is that they used to be part of the treaty, but then they kind of found a loophole because they're a new nation technically now, so they never signed the treaty technically. That's why they can do this. Or that's why they're taking a chance, even though they know people are going to be unhappy. Or the V5 is unhappy. Kakin will never back down now that things have gotten so public. I apologize for the circuitousness. I don't know what that word means. I wanted to establish a common understanding that the means to stop them is limited and military. Considering the above, to quell the situation peacefully, it is necessary to invite Kakin to the V5, reorganize as the V6, and unofficially support Kakin's journey. We must show that we have been waiting for them to become the last representative of the six continents. Not that we have to add them reluctantly. The king will go down in history as a pioneer, and in return, put in writing that the distribution of all rewards will be in even sixths, split into six. There are many uninhabited islands that could accept immigrants in the neutral zone inside the far ocean boundary. Pretend they are the new continent and have the civilians spend their new lives there. Leave the actual voyage to Kakin on the condition that the members be carefully screened. Let them suffer the same fate that united the V5 so strongly in the first place. A chaperone is necessary. Is the Hunter Association good enough? We commission them to capture Beyond. Once they have him, it will be up to them to convince him. The Hunter Association will have earned their keep if they can succeed in being both firm and flexible. I don't understand this part. In return, they put in writing, okay, so they accept the V6, they invite him, they're like, oh, we've been waiting for you, and they unofficially support the journey. But in return, he has to like split what the rewards. And then the next part is what I don't understand mainly. There are many uninhabited islands that could accept immigrants in the neutral zone inside the far ocean boundary. Pretend they are the new continent and have the civilians spend their new lives there. What's that about? Circuitousness means to beat around the bush. Oh. I've never ever heard that word. I've just heard people say, don't beat around the bush. So yeah, I don't understand the one part, like how does that fit in? But they leave the voyage to Kakina on the condition that the members be carefully screened. So basically there are islands inside of the safe zone that they can pretend is the dark continent. So they want to send them on a wild goose chase, a fake journey. But then let them suffer the same fate that united the V5 so strongly in the first place. Pretend they are the new continent and have the civilians spend their new lives there. Leave the actual voyage to Kakin on the condition that the members be carefully screened. Let them suffer the same fate. So they want to go, so let them go. I understand that part. Their main issue is sending civilians to the Dark Continent. It's basically going to be a pit stop where they drop civilians before they go to the Dark Continent. But why are they going? I thought Kakin wants to go. And why are civilians going? Kakin civilians? Or just random civilians that also want to go? Once that, okay, we can talk about it after the chapter. Let me finish up. Once they have him, it will be up to them to convince him. The Hunter Association will have earned their keep if they can succeed in being firm and flexible. And if they fail, negotiate directly with Kakin's leader. We'll certainly resolve it with the V6 offer. If the Hunter Association is not useful, we'll have to send an unofficial team ourselves. Then the real threat is that our budget is going to balloon by an estimated 25 times. And then they sign something and stamp it, and we're back. We insisted on an unlimited, so we're back with Beyond. We insisted on an unlimited open door policy to clarify the choice, or else the V5 would never get off their behinds. And if we blindly followed protocol, the plan itself would have been crushed. So when he says the unlimited open door policy, he means to the new world, to the Dark Continent. If safety of civilian immigrants isn't included in our duty, it doesn't seem as high risk to me. Okay. Because you would disregard your own safety, that's brave, but I'd question your leadership. This means that when you run away, you can't use protecting civilians as your excuse. You don't have to worry about PR. Why don't you worry about your own welfare? I give up. I have no idea what's going on. Someone translate. Thank you. Thank you for asking. It means Beyond got a ticket to the Dark Continent in exchange for making Kakin's king into a historic hero. But the V5 doesn't like to lose, so it wants to maintain dignity by making us babysit Beyond. So he basically worked with the king. The king becomes a historic hero, and all Kakin wanted was to go to the Dark Continent. And he's getting what he wants. Is this good for us? High risk, high return. If we fail, we'll lose the trust of one of our best customers, which is the V5, right? If we succeed, it's possible we'll be allowed to hunt on the Dark Continent. There's a good chance of gaining great benefits for humanity, not just the association. Just trust me and contact the V5. They will say, tell Beyond they'd accept a supervised voyage. And that chaperone will be the Hunter Association. So everything's going according to his plan. That's all we need to know. If the V5 trusts you, this is my challenge to you. The Dark Continent will be the proving grounds. Will you be there? Yes, this is the battle. This is a battle, and the entire association will have to fight. If this is all true, we shall accept. But first, there are many things we will have to confirm. Fine. Take my blood. Anything. He expected to be challenged as a fraud. I know he's the real deal. The chairman's son. He's using the Hunter Association as a stepping stone to get to the Dark Continent. Contact the V5. So everything... What does Eisen always say? Keikakudori. Or whatever. So he basically manipulated things to get what he wants by using a high power the individual, like the new king of Kakin. That was his loophole. So he worked with him. He said, if you listen to me, probably, I'm guessing this was all his initial plan. He said, if you listen to me, if you do what I tell you, you can go down in history as this heroic king, right? And all he wants at the end of the day is to go to the Dark Continent. What I just don't fully understand is the civilians and the islands part. But I do understand they asked for an open door policy. So I guess everyone will get taken to the Dark Continent. They'll think they're living there, but they're not really living there. Everyone except Beyond. He goes to the actual place, and they're expecting them to fail. Let them suffer the same fate or something, right? We were forced into this. It was underhanded, but the quickest way to the Dark Continent. We're going to an evil place with a sly foe who won't hesitate to cheat. We can't afford to lose. So they're doing this because their client is the V5. It looks like we'll be going to the Dark Continent with Beyond. Plans have changed. This will be a top secret, crucial mission from the V5. Okay, that confirms that. This will require the entire association's help. We're going together now? How is this a showdown? You amaze me. Beyond is saying he's going to the Dark Continent as a prisoner, but then he'll escape from us to do as he pleases. We'll have to find a solution to the threats while managing him and fighting off his comrades. In this land of complete unknowns, we don't know what will come to attack. Oh, kind of like Hell's Paradise, where, well, I don't want to spoil anyone, but you're going somewhere with someone that got as a prisoner, but then you have to, yeah, exciting. Okay, so it took me a minute, but I got there, and thankfully, this little tiger guy is just as clueless as I am to put, like, you kind of get it, but it's like you can see a blurry picture, but then they just kind of like summarize it for you very quickly, and I like that. But that's what hunters are supposed to do, right? Exactly. Be prepared. I hope we hit it off with Beyond during the trip and have a fun adventure together. Ginta, you optimist. Dream on. I will watch him, Cheadle. Okay. You should also be prepared. It will be a long imprisonment. A long time, eh? I'll wait as long as it takes. If Hugh Vogan has already got Blackbeard's VA, who else would you want as his VA? We had years and months to break down these chapters to understand it. It's clear enough, though, that if I did read one chapter and think about it, like, you can put it together, but it is very nice that the characters themselves summarize it. Well done. That was a good presentation. Thank you, but are you sure that was the right thing? What was? Like you asked, I submitted all the various risks. But isn't the agency contradicting itself if the conclusion is that we'd still go? It's no problem. Our duty was to inform them of the dangers and to propose a safer route to people who had already decided on a destination. The rest is their problem. Something else? Our official stance is that Journey to the New World was fiction, but in actuality, that book is the basis for the most important criteria for the world. The book is the basis for the most important criteria for the world. Ha! You're just like me. You'll be a great manager. An honest world would be best, of course, but peace is more important, isn't it? false peace. Interesting. Whoa! What's that? So cute. Okay, look at that! The giant transport ship, Black Whale number 1. It can carry an astonishing 200,000 people. The interior is simple as it was specialized for transport, but that means it was built at low cost and in less time. Hmm. Our hero king, Hui Guoro, has declared they will build 20 of these ships in a year. Oh, right. Because the king was like, they basically wanted to go and conquer, go and give their people more space, more resources, more. So that's why the people are being moved to the island. So that they think, oh, we conquered the dark continent, but then it's not. He's promised to send 100 million people within 5 years. This commemorative first ship is scheduled to carry Beyond, as well as the king and 14 princes. Civilians will be picked by lottery, and the current odds of landing a seat on the first ship is 1 in 1,300. The odds are better than you'd think. So we're inclined to focus on the spectacular and optimistic stories in this immigration plan. But one thing to note is the risks inherent in this voyage, and people are concerned about that. The maximum rating on the published dangerous non-native species list is C. Can you explain how dangerous this is so that the rest of us can understand? So this is some TV show where they're talking about this big news and the ship and the immigration and everything. Oh, the likes of bears, sharks, poisonous snakes, and wasps. So Australia. They're basically selling Australia here. Creatures you might come across if you're unlucky that might be fatal in the worst case scenario. Opinions online declare that the Dark Continent surely must harbor deadly rank B or A creatures. Nobody can rule them out completely, of course, but these people probably assume that mankind never went to the Dark Continent because dangerous creatures exist. Many ancient ruins describe the calamities caused by going to the continent. We have concluded that these mass casualties were from infections by viruses and microbes. Modern medicine will prevent such problems from recurring. Modern medicine will prevent. In fact, the minerals and liquids held by these flora and fauna are much more likely to be hiding miraculous compounds that can help mankind advance by leaps and bounds. I declare that the greatest gold rush of human history will take place in the next 10 years. Ooh, look who it is. The Dark Continent is the place where dreams are made. That's what the TV says. And then I think this is Gon's dad, right? And that's the guy who used to be the leader of the Zodiacs. What is this TV show? I give it a 1 star. Propaganda. Father of the year. Look who it is, everybody. Hey, let me in on this. You're taking all comers, right? For a second, I thought you came to stop us. Hmm? I plan to. This whole mess is your specialty. A forced choice. Depending on whether the association responds to Beyond's provocation, you'd send in 5,000 Chimera soldiers. You've had enough fun, haven't you? The association isn't your sandbox any longer. Don't mess with it anymore. I'll play with you personally from now on until you beg me to stop. Oh, get a room, you two. No, I'm joking. So you're finally going to pay attention to me. Oh God. Oh no. You will see about that. I might just be doing it for my own fun. They've got an interesting relationship. You're finally going to pay attention to me. Do you think this was his first illegitimate son? Imagine. I mean, I don't know how old the genie is. That was just a like 9,000,000% joke right there. But he's got that. I almost spoiled something from a game. And it would be a huge spoiler. But it's got like look at me daddy, look at me energy. Okay. Okay. But I think they're the same age. Not that I ever thought that was a real thing. I was just joking about like look at me daddy. Back when I was young, director, that doesn't make sense. He used to be very attractive. He didn't do his face massages. Okay. So that's one chapter. Leorio on the next page. Oh right. Let me just quickly roll. That was basically the adventure is off. It's like and they're off. You know? That's what it feels like that chapter was. What hour is it first? I don't think I have any Hunter x Hunter characters currently, but I do have 1 or 2 keys already. And Jolly D Joestar, do you think I understood everything enough for a first time read? Based on my, well, what I said? It seems like this Beyond the guy and the Gon's dad are equally crazy. And the guy in charge, no, the guy who used to be in charge of the Zodiacs, or briefly, you know, before Chido, he's a different kind of crazy. Everyone, let's just say everyone's kind of crazy. I mean, you have to be a world-class hunter, you know. I understand the immigration plan now. I understand what the king wanted from all of this. I understand that Beyond got everything that he wanted out of this. And I understand the Hell's Paradise situation that's about to unfold in a sense. And I'm not saying this came out before Hell's Paradise, I'm sure, but I just don't want anyone to be offended. I just read I watched Hell's Paradise first, so that's why I'm comparing it. I'm not, yeah. But Beyond Netero, he seems, if we're gonna compare crazy, he seems the coolest crazy right now, huh? Gon's dad has Takamura's VA. Ooh, I remember that. But I do wonder if it ever comes back. Will they feature the same voice actors? I guess it depends. I think they would 100% go with the same VAs if they're still working. However, at this point, I feel like would they just continue, or would they like relaunch the whole thing after the story finishes one day? That seems to be like, so pretty much all the ooh, Crollo Lucifer still out there. Phaeton Portor still out there. Ponzu, Neon. I have a key for Neon, and I have a key for Nanika. I don't think I have any characters. Nope. But I do have Nanika and Neon Keys. Hatena! Oh. I would have taken just so that I can focus up, but it's fine. Okay, are you ready, kids, for the next chapter? What was that chapter called, actually? Let me just go back and check the title. I don't think that I did. And the titles are very important. Relaunch with Ufotable as a studio. Shine it up. No, Ufotable has to do Genshin first. Leave them alone. Oh, the chapter is called Challenge. So basically, it works on a lot of levels. Like, it's Beyond's challenge to them. It's Jing's challenge to the one who's finally being paid attention to. It's this whole thing is gonna be a whole challenge. So yeah, it works on many levels. That okay. 343. Leorio. He is being invited as a zodiac? No, leave him alone. He wants to be a doctor. I'm scared. If there's any show that would kill off a main character, it's gonna be it would be Hunter x Hunter. So I don't want him to go anywhere near the Dark Continent, but it would make sense as from a hunter perspective, with all these, like that TV show said. I mean, it looked like propaganda. It leaned only, oh, there's wonderful blah blah blah. But it is true. You could find the crazy cures and stuff. It could do what he said, But anyway, the chapter is called Invitation, and he got invited to be a zodiac. You are currently the most respected hunter in the association. Yeah, because of kind of like, isn't it because he punched Jing? Didn't he kind of run by accident? Your participation is essential for the success of a mission that will decide its future. We would like your help by all means. Pay up. Hold on, I got things to do. Your medical studies? This may be presumptuous, but I've contacted your school. They've made a special exception and approved an indefinite term for study abroad. Only if you go to the Dark Continent with us as part of the medical team. Genius, they got him. I want him to be a doctor and save his friend. I don't know. Wait, he wanted to be a doctor because he couldn't save a friend? Or he wants to be a doctor because I don't know. But either way, she's smart. And his response is, what? I will be chief physician. You will earn academic credit for the practicum experience. I know I'm the one asking you a favor, but I won't give you an easy grade. Of course, if you're not good enough, you may end up wasting months to years of your life. I must point out that this is a very dangerous and difficult mission. There will be no other compensation. If you'd rather be a doctor in a safe place simply to make money, feel free to refuse. All right, then, I'll gladly refuse. Yeah, because that's what he wanted. He needs money to study so that he can save the next friend. Because he couldn't save the other friend. I'll gladly refuse. I should be the one asking you. What better opportunity could I wish for? Let me do it. Oh, no, Leonia, you're gonna die. I'm so worried. Don't do it. Just go somewhere safe. Shit. He's too much of a man. Sure, thank you. But there's one thing. You have one more opening in the Zodiacs, right? There's someone I'd like to recommend. Who would he recommend? Could it be? Could it be? I know it's probably wishful thinking, but okay. So wherever Jing and the daddy's boy is, why did you assume those were the two choices? If they were the association doing what I want, wait, if they were, the association doing what I want would make things a lot worse. That's not a negotiation. Plus, that Hunter exam thing came out of nowhere. Negotiating isn't even on your mind. This is a game you're playing by yourself. You're not going to ask how I knew you were sheltering chimera ants. So he is? 5,000? I was like, when I read that in the last chapter, I was like, what? And now I'm like, what? There's so much to think about in the last chapter. You can't think about everything. And now I'm thinking about this. Oh my god. No. What? It's not like I was trying to hide it. If the association accepted the terms and went off to the Dark Continent, officially, they'd need expert personnel. But governments are risk averse and slow to respond. Using private contractors always creates disputes with contract and the distribution rights. The jargon, not of my people. Cheadle will try to recruit the necessary personnel via the Hunter exam. So the association acts alone. It's the most realistic and efficient way, but to you, it's the most moderate and boring decision, one you'd rather not have happen. Netro he would never do that. Is he? It feels like he is playing, he's saying the things, he's doing the things exactly what the Jing wants, because he'd accept losing the V5 as a client and refuse to accompany Beyond. He'd find his own way there first. Wait for Beyond on the Dark Continent and announce that the hunt for Beyond is on. That's what the Hunter Association should be, right? Why are you trying so hard to destroy it if you're so obsessed with it? Quite a twisted form of love. Any proof that I'm destroying it? Explain this forced choice to me. You're a baby crying for attention. Well, you said it, not me. I'm joking. You're a baby crying for attention. If the association became boring to you, you'd go... Wait, did he say that to him? Oh, I thought he was giving an example. Any proof? Explain this forced choice to me. Okay. So then Jing responds, you're a baby crying for attention. If the association became boring to you, you'd go find a new playmate. The quickest way to find one is to dump the chimeras into the world. That would also force a change in policy regarding the Dark Continent. But if the association shows a backbone, you'd happily deliver the finishing blow by sending the chimeras to take the exam. It's the only way for anyone to become a member. Okay. You know who was introduced in the Chimera Ant arc? Espada. What's that guy's name? With the backstory and the abusive father. Yes, Gyro. I wonder if he's gonna... Man, I need a recap on that though. 5,000 ants? Whew. Okay, but if the association shows a backbone, you would happily deliver the finishing blow by sending the chimeras to take the exam. A balanced exam that Cheeto will create amounts to a free pass for anyone with your tutelage and connections. Your followers will pass in bulk, though I don't know what you'd do with an association full of chimeras. And you and I are similar. We think in unorthodox ways. That's why I think what I think, scumbag. So his proof is the fact that we both think outside of the box. So he knows. But it seems like Jing has, like, both of them get bored easily. That's why he wants to have fun with Jing, because they're both at that level, I guess. But because Jing ignored him, he's going about things in this way now to create an environment that will be fun for him, I guess. What a way to put it. But you're right, so whatever. People normally feel happiness when they love and are loved in return. I feel happiness when people hate me, and I feel compelled to hurt the things that are dear to me. But is that so strange? Yes. Unless you find a masochistic girlfriend, that's kind of strange. So what, he's a sadist? Psychopath? What's his name again? Golden Boy? Uh, Daddy's Boy? I'm just gonna start. I'm Daddy's Golden Boy. I don't know. I'm gonna forget his name anyway. It depends on the extent, but I'm saying you're totally out of it, and that's not how we're alike. Oh, Paris Hilton. Oh, okay. Paris Hilton. May I? You may not. Stay out of this, Baldy. But I waited so long. Hey, who do you think you are? Busting in here and acting all dead. No. He was coming in with a tough guy act, and Jing was not having it, and this is when half the Hunter x Hunter fandom peed their pants and started built their little altar. This was the beginning of their little altar to Jing, I guess. So he throws a oh, but he didn't. It was just emotionally. The hockey made him feel like he just got kill punched. Or something. Got it. Now stay out of this. Are you the one who calls the shots here? Hey? Hey? There's a little gaseous life form? Come on, Jing. I'm number 2, of course. So it's not a hierarchy of strengths. Oh, you underestimate me. If you were only about brute force, I'd pummel you and that would be it. That's not the case, which is the trouble. You'd be laughing inside, even as I made you cough up blood and stepped on your head. I'd have to break your spirit instead. Hmm? I'm number 2 now. I'm number 2 now. Anyone got a problem with that? So wait. What does he mean with that? Are you the one who calls the shots here? And then Pariston is like, I'm number 2. And now Jing said, no, I'm number 2 from now on. Anyone got a problem with that? So Pariston is actually... I've seen this thing roll. I'll just say that. But there was this. Dun dun dun. Ghastly. What? Okay, so something's going on there. You don't need to... Let me just point out, Hunter x Hunter fans can get very excited and ahead of themselves. And I don't really trust you to remember what you actually thought at this point when the chapter came out. So... And the thing is, even if some people had some theories and thoughts and this and that, I don't need to figure out everything at the same pace as everyone else, because the longer it stays a mystery to me, the better in terms of reactions, right? Okay, but anyway. So the cow guy goes into a room with three very burly looking men, and they ask him, "Who the hell are you?" I'm from oh, yes, 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 yes. I'm from the Hunter Association. Is Kurapika here? Is he? Is he? He's out. Please take your leave. Then I'll wait here until his return. Can I have some coffee? I'll get the milk myself. What does that mean? Does he have an other under his jacket? I know only the wow, they're really loud downstairs. Um I know he's a man, but I mean I don't know. Hunter x Hunter's pretty progressive in that sense. He could have an udder. Can I have some coffee? I'll get the milk myself. What's that supposed to be? Ugh. Okay, so then they stand up to kind of like intimidate him. This is a warning. Don't come near me. I will not allow any violence. I am a crime hunter with special investigative clearance. Save your lip for the nurse at the hospital, moron. We'll send you there. Restrain. And then they cannot move. Closed courtroom. Cross game. Hey, you won't get away with this. What the hell did you just do? You'll be released soon. But here's another warning. Not another step. I will immobilize you as many times as you resist. Over and over. Okay, fine. The boss is downstairs, but he's in a bad mood. Try not to provoke him. I'm so happy when we started this arc. I thought that there was gonna be no Kurapika. I'm so happy. Apparently there is some Kurapika side story that I have to read, but I don't know where to read it. So just tell me what it's called again, like Kurapika something? Kurapika Zero? Not yet? Oh, okay. Tell me when it volume 0. Tell me when I'm supposed to read that. You're a hunter, right? Is this your real occupation? What are you implying? We're not a crime syndicate, you know. We get 100% of our income through personal security detailing and gambling. We pay our taxes. They're both legal here. You have no right to say anything. I'm hearing a lot of noise. Who are you? Or what do you want with me? So he's seen his share of carnage. This was the first time in 13 years that Kurapika talked in the manga. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. 13 years. When did I watch the anime? Like 5 years ago? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And then I didn't, like for a year and a half or 2 years. I didn't read the manga. And then I read the manga in about 6 months or so, maybe a bit more. And it's been like a year and a half, 2 years since then. So for me, I haven't missed Kurapika as long as everyone else. But I've missed him. Mizaistom, Hunter Association. Have you heard the news about Kakin going to the Dark Continent? I don't care. Leorio told me about you, and I'm here to make a request. Come to the Dark Continent with us. I refuse. I'm busy. Is that all? I will punch your pretty face emotionally, like just Just like Jing did. Don't even you're coming with us and that's the end of it. Oh shit. Oh shit. That looks scary. What? I hear you're looking for the crimson eyes of your murdered friends. And then he looks dangerous to say the least. From this point on, choose your words wisely. This place, this is no place for you outsiders. I am indeed looking for their eyes. What of it? There's a dark knit site of peculiar similar-minded people. Do you know that 6 months ago a video showing a large number of crimson eyes was uploaded there? Of course. So what? Kurapika is looking for their owner, but we don't have any clues. We've identified the owners or the owner of those crimson eyes. We accidentally came across them while making a background check on a VIP for the Dark Continent trip. It was a coincidence. It would be impossible to figure out from the video alone. That's all I can say to you as an outsider. Oh, to you, an outsider. I need you to consider carefully before you answer me. If you join the Zodiacs, you will accompany us to the Dark Continent, but you will spend about 2 months on a ship. Would that be of interest to you? So, this person is also going to be on board. My priority is to recover my brethren's stolen eyes by any means. All right, I will join you. I'm happy he's going to join us, but I'm always sad when I'm reminded of that. Will you tell me who it is? Kakin's fourth prince, Seriednich Huigoro. Damn, just like that. Pariston, you're out of it. I think you're the one who's out of it. As a parent. What? Leorio's coming? Kurapika is coming? What does this mean? Does this mean it's their arc? Like, Gon and the Killua had their arc and their journey? And now it's like, yay, time to focus on the others. But I don't. And I mean, you kind of like, that's what I was hoping for, but someone said something that made me believe we were not going to see Kurapika again. I don't remember who it was or what they said, but I was fully convinced after thinking there might be a possibility, of the story shifting, since we've always had the four MCs in a sense. Like Gon is always the MC, like the main character, but we had the Killua, we had and it felt like it's about time. Especially for Leorio, to be fair, like he had his goals and he got the least focus, I guess. But I was hoping for Kurapika also, and but then someone said something that made me think that, well, fuck, we're never gonna see him again. And then I heard about this volume 0, and I thought, oh well, is that it? We get his backstory, and then. But now he's here, and he's joining, and Leoria's joining, and I've never been so happy. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but I just mean my favorite arc was Kurapika's. So I'm very happy. Yay. What time is it? Did they mean manga or anime only when they said you were not going to see him anymore? It was after I watched the anime, so our blonde chain boy is back. Yes. So that makes me very happy. I don't think there was anything to understand in this chapter. Oh, not only is Leorio and Kurapika back in like one chapter, but I mean, we're seeing a lot more of Jing. And this person is the new Hisoka. And just like Hisoka is obsessed with Gon, or he thirsts for Gon, Pariston apparently thirsts for Jing. But Paris Hilton is not the number one. It seems to imply that another gaseous life form might be. And what is this doll? Does it go inside the doll? Is it its vessel? Like the mystery there is very exciting. But yeah, sadly, this is about as much as I can read for today. The Fourth Prince, that's the one that Kurapika's after. So the chapter was called Invitation. And the Leorio got invited. And Kurapika got invited. So I don't know if I'm missing any other invitation theme. Number 1 is Beyond. This is his team. Hmm? Oh, well, you can also just... Jing also invited himself. Yeah, that's a good one. Who was Jing talking to when he said, "Are you the one who calls the shots here?" Can you answer that without talking about anything that we haven't seen? Aldohan. Who was Jing talking to here? Can you answer without spoiling? It's on page 10. He was talking to the girl. The doll. So Jing says to the doll, "Are you the one who calls the shots here?" That's what I also assumed. And then Paris replies, "I'm number 2, of course." But then Jing is like, "No, I'm number 2 now." But when he said, "Are you the one who calls the shots here?" Why did the colors change again? Jing was asking who is their number 2 because he already knows Beyond is number 1. But Beyond is going as a prisoner. I don't know. As I said before, let me be wrong also. Like if I misunderstand something, you don't necessarily need to correct me, because once again, I'm reading this for the first time and you had a lot of time to kind of mull things over. So if I come to a different conclusion after a chapter, you can also just let me have that conclusion for a minute, you know? Because everyone else got to read it, got to think about it. I don't, at this point, fully see why I need to accept the fact. Okay, well, Netar Beyond is the number one. Cause I understand he's the one that orchestrated all of this. But he's still going as a prisoner, so he doesn't really get to call shots. And the Jing was asking, are you the one who calls the shots here? And his eyes, there's a lot of focus here on the eyes. And then there's this weird gaseous life form, and he looks like he's looking in that direction. So my point is, I might be wrong here. I might be making some completely, I might be having misconceptions, but at this point, it's fully fine to have misconceptions. So you really don't need to explain things to me like every step of the way. Unless I ask. Or unless I guess I'll have to have a dedicated manga fan who can, like, Booty is my dedicated, let's say with Dragon Ball. If he thinks, okay, she has a misunderstanding, this might need to be corrected to understand some things later, he gets to decide. Because I don't trust everyone to just decide what I need to know. But yeah, I feel like part of the fun when you're reading a manga, for at least like with One Piece, I'm reading it weekly, right? There's nothing beyond the newest chapter. So part of the fun of being able to do that is, especially on that first reading, like, see what kind of jumps out at you. See, I haven't been good with theories with One Piece because I don't know, that shit's wild. There's a lot to also keep track of, but there have also been times, like in a recent chapter, where I said that's a red flag, and then it turned out to be true. But I could have been wrong. And yeah, the part of the fun is kind of like discovering as you go, like I said earlier. So I think that's where I'll end it for today. Really great chapters. Really happy to have Kurapika and Leo Rio back. Very intrigued about the Jing and his weird little relationship. Like, kind of, it doesn't look like a he wants to be in this relationship. But Paris then, like he said, it's kind of like a forced choice situation. He's causing some mischief. But it sounds like pretty soon the Hunter Association is going to be chock full of chimera ants. And that will make up the association team, which you guys are saying Beyond is at the top of. But I don't know. For me, a number one is the one who calls the shots. It's the leader. And even though he manipulated the situation before now in order to go, like that was all part of his plan, I don't really see him as a leader of the team right now. I don't know. I'll have to see how things play out. Like, he wants to fuck off and go on his own mission. Unless I miss the fact that Pariston is working with Beyond. Like they're teammates from before this. But just to make sure, you remember last chapter, Beyond was the one who assembled that very team, right? Nope. Which chapter? Which page? We often go back on One Piece and reread chapters. So if you think in One Piece the rule is don't spoon feed me, best option is you might want to go back to chapter this, read that page. That's the, like, rather tell me you might want to reread something than just kind of spoon feeding me. I don't like that. Did anyone notice when the lighting changed? When this looks different than it looked earlier, right? Really? So what was this? Chapter 340? Okay, 340. I feel like it's starting to come back to me because of the designs of the characters were very. Oh. Okay, wait, let me just see. So the king was making his announcement and introduced the chairman's son. We've hired his son. So he was hired. I will remove them. Come one, come all to Kakin. Let's go to the new world. I promise to take you there. And then we saw Kakin with the king received a formal request from V5 to withdraw the announcement. What do you need to do to follow the V5 rules anyway? You must send an application, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Stop your yammering. So this is where these characters were introduced. Even Pariston! Lord, yeah, I forgot about this. I want to go where no one has gone before. Meet people nobody has met. Acquire things. I thought Pariston was acting on his own to mess with the association. I want to explore without bounds, leaving my mark on virgin territory. Really? Is that what happened? I won't turn down anyone who joins or chase after anyone who leaves, but I'll crush anyone who tries to interfere. The Rat Parison and the Boar Jing both submitted requests to leave the Zodiacs, and I approved. This was about a month ago a little bit less than a month ago when I read this. So the 10 of us are everyone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they briefly introduced this team. He was here with them. And the doll was already there. I still think it's very suspicious, though, the way that just the line of sight. But these people all have to pass the Hunter Association test first. There's going to be some kind of test, including the Chimera, the 5,000 Chimera that Pariston is harboring or whatever. I still think there's something very. I like to think about very talented authors as doing smart things, like asking a question that we would assume was meant for Pariston when his line of sight was looking at the gaseous life form. But logic would state, in the case of chapter 240, then yes, Netaro Beyond is obviously their leader. So for future, just remember, instead of explaining something to me, tell me you might want to go read the chapter 340, page 7 again. That's how we've done it for One Piece, and it's usually more fun because instead of someone spoon feeding me an answer, like I go and I discover it for myself, even if I have to remember it, like re-remember it, it's more fun that way. Interesting. Okay, I have to go play Genshin now. It was great. I do understand why someone would say something like, you want to read at a faster pace because there's a lot to keep track of. You are going to forget things, but it doesn't matter. Like I said before, it really doesn't matter how fast I read these. I could read 2 every week for the next couple of weeks. I will forget things. That's just kind of like who I am. I have said something. I ask questions to my live chat, and then I look away, and then someone answers, and I'm like, what are you answering? What did I ask? Like, that's the level of forgetful that I am. It has to make a very large impression on me. I mean, I remember most things though. I kept track today pretty well, I would say. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. But it is, you already forgot what you read in the first chapter of today. It began, well, there Cheetle was talking to Beyond, and there was a meeting with some old people asking some questions, and they were like, we already know this. And we saw the chairman, the manager, he used to look really different. I remember everything. Not to mention, there's around 80 chapters to catch up to. You're bound to forget things. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you're here to kind of like remind me where I can find my answers for myself, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So thank you guys for listening. Great the chapters, 10 out of 10 because kurapiko. And yeah, the mystery and the conspiracy and stuff and this whole plan being set up by Beyond is very cool. Like, I don't know how I feel about him yet, but he's definitely exciting. So, Pariston, however, the rat. I don't like him. He's like Hisoka 2.0. I don't like him. I'm not excited for him. But I am excited for like the jokes I'm going to make whenever he and Jing are talking to each other. So, thank you and see you in the next one. Bye.